that's what we were using to do the rolling, and started out with maybe 4 ingots and this ingot weighed 600 pounds. And these big rugged steel mill rollers were all husky, and they're accustomed to grabbing a iron billet, throwing it in the furnace, you know, with ease. And you should have seen the sight when this
uranium billet comes out.
Uranium billets were given to them. They had these tongs to grab it. He grabbed it, and he was going to pull it and put it into the rolls. It didn't move. I wish we had a camera. And so it took several guys first time to get it in. That was the first successful rolling.
Was this rolling at the Jocelyn?
Jocelyn Stainless Steel
Works, which you now started also to get work. You were also doing work there, right?
Later on, I'll tell you.
All right.
So there was no temperature measuring that we could use because it's so low to get a reading. So when we were rolling, when a seal or like this uranium passes what we call a crystal transformation from a low temperature crystal to a higher temperature. Well, when the temperature rises like this, but when you hit one of those points, you're pouring heat into the material, but the temperature isn't rising. It sort of flattens out almost. And that's because the crystal is transforming to a different crystal, and it hesitates there. Then it goes, when that does that, it's like turning on a flashlight almost. You get a coalescent temperature. And I could spot this.
At the beginning, right? At the onset.
At the onset.
Right.
Because we found out if you go through that transformation from the alpha to the beta range, the material would crack or fall apart because of the different grain structure. And so we had to do it at a lower temperature, about 600 degrees.
Fahrenheit.
And roll it. Later on, I was able to have 3 billets going through the rolling mill, because I'd take the first one and tell them set it aside because it was going to be
close to
changing to beta, and I'd get another one, set that down, and start another one. By that time, the first one cooled off, would go back, and that's the way we rolled it. And I got to be very good at it. Some people couldn't spot this, didn't know what was going on. And so as we got this worked out, the chemical company in St. Louis, well, what was the name of it? Anyway, they were given a job separating the uranium from the ore and producing these ingots. And as they got the production going, we had ingots sent by boxcars from Malincroft Chemical. And they would have a caboose attached to this boxcar with a military guy with military weapons, believe me. And another guy that worked on the project, Bernie Travelin, he worked with the nuclear group. Mm-hmm. And I don't remember his degree, college degree, but he wasn't a metallurgist. So we would roll this into around 1 diameter to 1/8 rod, and then we would centerless grind them to ship it to wherever the boxcar took them. And when we rolled, they had janitors which sweep up all this oxide and the particles around the rolling mill. And when we ground, we were thankful that each grinder had its own coolant system. It would have been a terrible one where we had a big central cooling that circulated to all the grinders, because that wouldn't have worked out. And one at the time, we instructed, being that we were at war, all these industries that were working for the defense were working around the clock, 3 shifts, and 7 days a week. And so the night Senator Grinder was instructed that he was to clean out the grindings and put it in carbide cans that they use for settling welding, and they had a screw top on it. And this guy checked, and he decided, oh, he'll get away with not having to clean it out. And so he decided to leave it, and he was doing the grinding. Well, I got a call from this guard at the main entrance at the hotel, something like 2:30 in the morning, and he said, Andrew, the Sentinel's grinder is on fire. And what was happening, it was generating hydrogen, and it would ignite. So obviously I had to get dressed up and get a cab and go out there and get that straightened out. And we got the fire turned out. You don't pour more water on it, but had the guy clean it up.